This is Charlie Flowe World Sports Show. I'm joined by Mark Parsons, head coach, Washington Spirit, coming off a draw on the weekend at Seattle, a 1-1 draw. Going into their home finale, they'll be hosting Sky Blue, which could have a ton of playoff implications. How you doing today, Mark?
Very good, Charlie. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate all the coverage and support you keep giving the league.
Oh, it's fun. I mean, this time a little stressful for you, but for us on the outside and from a fan point of view and a media point of view, this is probably the most exciting end we could, wish for the entertainment value, but probably very stressful for you.
Yeah, it's I think the go back a couple of weeks with the important results and performances with Portland, Kansas, Chicago. We played those three teams. Everything was thrown kind of in our hands, and it is stressful. But if you let it be, we right now can control our destiny. Going away to Seattle, there was only one objective, and that was to get maximum points. And if we'd got maximum points, the next objective was to get maximum points at Sky Blue. So it doesn't change too much of what our planning is, what our ambition is, our target. So we just fell short of that. Obviously, it was disappointing. So the next focus is the same. We got a great week of preparation for Sky Blue, and feel great that with that prep and how the players are growing every week, that we have a good opportunity to finish strong in front of our home fans.
Yeah, it was a great result. I mean, unfortunately, you didn't pull off the 3 points in Seattle, but probably a big confidence builder, leaving Seattle with 8 point. And, Laura Harvey didn't put out a second string roster. She put out pretty much a full roster. So it got a great preview of a team that you could face in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think strange way the game went. We were very disappointed with our first half. We were obviously 1-0 up. I'm sure Laura was disappointed with her team's performance at some period in the game. I think the first half we were quite scrappy. We didn't control as much of the game as we had opportunity to. I think we defended very well. We defended high very well. We limited their options. We didn't allow them to play where they normally can play. And But we didn't really get our game going in the first half. And at half time, 1-0 up, we were striving to improve that. And I think in the second half we had spells, but it just turned into a great defensive performance in the second half. I think again, a couple of substitutions that were made, and we dealt with some new faces, but the objectives and the way that Seattle play is still consistent. So we're pleased with the defensive performance during the second half, and we probably could have nicked a goal in the first half to make it 2-0. We had an opportunity, a really good opportunity at 1-0 up in the second half. I think we needed that second goal because of Seattle at home in front of a good crowd was going to be tough. So disappointed with the way it happened at the end, and we conceded the goal. So strange one going. Yeah, on paper you'd be happy to get a point away from home against top of the league, but the way the game went, I felt that three points would have been deserved. But I think the real positive is, there were things in the first half we were disappointed with. There are things in the second half leading up to that. The 10-minute period before the goal gives us some great things to learn from. And I think having that a couple of weeks out of some potential playoff games is invaluable. And we spoke about that a little bit after the game. Is we've got to be proud of what we've come here and done, but there's big lessons, and we've managed to learn a lot throughout the year, and this game is no different. We get to work this week. We learn from some important lessons and mistakes that were made. Let's eliminate those going forward. And if you do that, we're matching we're matching the best team in the league right now. So it's positive on reflection. The honest emotion after the game was that was 2 points dropped, and we'll use that experience to get stronger. We'll use that experience to be better over the next couple of weeks.
Now, going into this week, you've got Sky Blue coming in. They play on Wednesday. They could come into the game eliminated, or they could come into the game alive. A lot depends on the Wednesday game. Two Wednesday games. Like, how does that change, and how do you prepare for a week? Not knowing, the status of your opponent, and not even knowing what your outcome is until the end of Wednesday.
I don't think it changes. So, Sky Blue, whether they're eliminated or not, they're gonna look the way they've been playing the last couple of weeks. I don't think that's going to change their mentality. They're fine. They're in great form. They found their form. I think with the group of players they've got, um, it's not no surprise. The first time we played them at home, we tied 3-3. You know, the preparation before that game, we knew that we were facing a team with very strong players all over the place. They hadn't quite clicked yet, and they hadn't quite got it together, and now they're doing that. They're hitting great form, and honestly, no surprise at all. Um, excuse me, they played us off the park at their place, you know, a few weeks ago. That's fresh. I think that's fresh on our minds that we were upset, we were disappointed with ourselves that day, and I think that's strong motivation to make sure we go out with a really strong performance. We're at home for the last time in regular season in front of our fans who have been absolutely incredible, and this is a must win for us. All the motivation, all the motivation is there. It doesn't change. Sky Blue come in eliminated or not, I think they're gonna want to come and give us the hardest possible game and steal some points off us no matter what. I think every professional player, every professional coach is going to have that objective in their eyes. So we have to be prepared for a very strong team that I think have been very dangerous in the attacking third over the last 2 or 3 weeks, and we look forward to that challenge.
It's unfortunate, like you said, you didn't clinch the playoff spot, at Seattle. But is there any type of silver lining going into that game Saturday, knowing you can clinch the playoff spot in front of your home crowd? You've had a great crowd just to kind of give that to them from, the tough experience they had last year with you guys dropping a lot of games.
I think they deserve it more than any other group of fans in the league. Such a dedicated group. We hear them throughout the whole game, 90 minutes every time we're at home. Last year, was an extremely extremely tough season to get behind and stay behind a team. And one of the main reasons we were able to keep going and keep moving forward last year and finish the season with 2 wins and a tie after a very difficult season was because of them. So to be able to go home and have that opportunity to give that to them firsthand, I don't think there's a higher motivation. They're exceptional. They always have been, and their support really has given us a boost, even when we're away from home. The support that the players get online, and the encouragement before, during, after games is massive, and that makes a huge difference. The players feel it, the team feels it, and just look at how we finish games, especially at home. We finish games really strong away from home, but especially at home, how many times we have scored important goals in the last 10, 20 minutes, and that's when the fans are at their strongest and at their best, and it has pushed us, it's driven us on to new heights. So we owe them a massive performance on Saturday.
Yeah, and you talk about getting a last minute goals. You had like Yael just a few weeks ago come up with one of the greatest goals in NWSL history. I mean, that's a way you open up your account for the Spirit. But as a coach, what does that make you feel like? You see stoppage time maybe pop up, a tie game, 5 minutes, but just knowing you got this group that all you need is a couple minutes and you guys can just bang, create a goal.
Yeah, I think my sanity and hairline could do with it being done could do with it being done earlier, but it's not just those final minutes. I mean, it's throughout the whole game. If we're down at half time, we have been a few times this season. There's not one ounce of my body that doesn't believe that we always have an opportunity to to come back. And going into the change room, you have your ideas, you have some of the solutions to the opposition's success and things that they're causing, problems they're causing you. But when I look around the change room and see it in the players' eyes, I for every second of the game, I've got belief. And there's even been games where, excuse me, there's been games where we haven't made it happen. I honestly, I believe with every second of that game that we can make it happen. And the character of the team, the character of the players is unbelievable. We have so many important people in the change room, and even younger players who haven't maybe have been through as much struggle or experiences. They're winners. We've managed to put together a great group of winners that keep improving on the pitch every single week, and all of our success is a huge credit to the mentality and the character that we have, and I believe that that's what separates us to a lot of other groups, and I honestly believe that's what's going to drive us on Saturday in a must-win game.
Yeah, I mean, you've mentioned like a lot of the younger players, and you've had a lot of younger players come in. You've had some very tough injuries, and even Jones peeling in gold a few times. I mean, that must give you a confidence that, whatever 11 you put out there, you have a shot to win.
Yeah, for sure, and we have players that have found it tough because in a squad with this much depth, players are not getting as many minutes as they have previously in their career or college career. But I think that's the best thing about the environment we have that the players have created is people have been very unselfish and have put the team first. No one has slacked off in training for a single second, no matter what they're playing or how much they're playing. Everyone is always pushing each other. And we've said it in the last couple of weeks, the Chicago and Kansas games, some of our most positive voices and passionate voices. Hear my daughter in the background singing,
And she's
singing.
she's agreeing with you, I guess, or disagreeing.
She's singing a spirit song, getting ready for Saturday. Come on, the spirit. So some of the strongest voices and passionate voices have been the players that are not on the pitch, that are sitting next to me, Lloyd, KJ, Kevin, Emily. Some of our players that whoever it is on that day, there is so much support from them. That is giving us an edge. That drives us. So that creates a very competitive environment every single week in training, and I believe that's going to be a massive plus going into the final week.
Yeah, and also from like a scouting point of view, you got Sky Blue Jim Cabrera. He doesn't know exactly what lineup you're going to put, and that just makes their job, the opposing team's job, even harder because you're able to insert these players, and it gives them a lot more work to do. And hey, gives them more work, less stress for you.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of teams this year has had the same luxury. I think the league, regards to players and standard of soccer, has grown through the roof. I'd be extremely honest. There's no way I could have predicted, and I did not predict. I actually thought that we could stand still because we had an expansion team coming in. The players across the league would have spread out across more teams, and I believe that we would have stood still, maybe snuck forward, and I couldn't be more wrong. I think the standard is gone through the roof throughout every team. You look at the teams that are in positions that we were in last year towards the bottom, and they're all capable of beating big teams and teams that are on form or on fire or near the top. Um, that every team has a lot of depth, and I think it shows how much the league has grown in the last 12 months, and so exciting to be a part of that. It makes my job and our staff's incredibly challenging. The work that has to be done to, you can't just know your 11, 12 players, 13 players that might play. You need to know 20. You need to know, how do teams play, home or away? How do they play when things go against them? How do they adapt when things are going well? How you have to pick out all these trends, and when there's so much depth on the squads, it's a lot of work. But obviously, it's work that has to be done, and it's the same for every head coach in this league. I think it makes it tough and challenging, but what a great place to work in. I feel privileged and fortunate to be in this environment, and I believe, after seeing the huge progress in 12 months, I honestly believe that it's only going to grow further. Now, next year, and long term future.
Yeah, you definitely did a flip of the table, and it's a very neat thing to parody this league and the idea going into the final week or two that, 7 of the 9 teams are alive. 2 have already clinched, but you've got 5 teams fighting for 2 spots. I mean, when you step back and look at it from a fan point of view, you could probably, as a league, couldn't have asked for anything better.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic, and um, I, Kansas and Seattle, they've done a great job in running away. Kansas recovered from a tricky start, and they showed their class, and for the second year running, and Seattle, obviously, from the word go, has looked like hot favourites, and with the roster and the job that the coach, Laura, has done there, is, they've got to, going into playoffs. You got to, it's going to be a tough challenge for anyone, and I think that's where we feel good. I mean, we walked away from only tying 1-1 and being very disappointed that we didn't come away with more. So they're on hot form, but I know we can cause them some challenges, and if that day comes again, I know we're going to be a bit more prepared, and I'm sure they'll be a bit more motivated because we scared them a little bit the other night.
So looking at other thing, you're GM of Washington Spirit. You're also the head coach, but you also do some club work too. So this is a very busy time of the year because you have a lot of the club seasons starting up. What's a typical week for you, like Mark, working with the club and working with the pro team?
Well, I work within the academy of the club, and when I say academy, we have age groups from U12 to U17 in Super Y League during the summer. In Maryland and Virginia, we have two bases with a set of teams in each. They've just finished their season. It's been a massive step forward from last year, and the quality has grown. We still have huge steps to make, but with the coaches and an opportunity for me to support those coaches and start building an identity as a club, start building an identity as regards to our coach development and player development. It's taken some huge strides. Still a lot more to go. So that's just ended. But my role as head coach and general manager is more on the technical side and players and recruiting and talking to agents and players. We have Ashley Kumbo, who is our VP of operations, who truly runs the club. I mean, spends more hours than anybody else running the club top to bottom on the operational side. So she, working for her and supporting her on the operational side any way I can. It's not the strongest set of attributes that I've got. Dealing with setting up, getting fans into the stadium and setting up a great event on game day. We owe a lot to Ashley and her team of staff and volunteer staff that we have. So my role, yeah, with the pro team as head coach, overseeing the academy. In the off season, I get a lot more into that, and I'm out every single night working on clinics and visiting clubs and visiting teams in supporting in any way I can and we can as a club. So it's busy. It's busy, shuffling a lot of things, but wouldn't like it any other way. It's really been a privilege to be a part of such a great club over the last 12 months, and look forward to a long term future, and excited to keep building every aspect of the club that we can.
Well, thank you for your time, Mark, and look forward to seeing you this Saturday, and hope we can see your daughter out there in full Spirit gear.
Yeah, appreciate it, Charlie. Take care.
All right, thanks.